The holiday season is just around the corner, and if you're looking to pay it forward, Gava might just help you. Gava is an online platform where you can create crowd-funded events for social causes or donate to charities. Now, here to tell us more about this new way of giving, we have the CEO of Gava, Ann Lindayag. Good morning and welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, TJ.
Thank you. Well, tell us a bit more about Gava and how did this all start? I mean, I can imagine in the past, people would find ways to give to certain organizations, but it takes an effort to go to the bank, deposit, or see them in their office. But this is an online method. So tell us how this whole thing began for you.
So it started when I became a consultant for nonprofit organizations. Okay, it has been like 5 years, and I know for a fact that it takes money to raise money, and for you to raise 100 pesos, typically the cost would be 30 pesos.
Wow.
Yeah. So I thought, why not introduce crowdfunding as the same way the West, the other countries has also introduced that crowdfunding in their countries. So the crowdfunding basically is an online giving facility that makes it very convenient, secured, and easy for people to give.
Now, what were the problems of donations before? I mean, I've worked with NGOs and nonprofits as well, and one thing I hear from them a lot is donor fatigue.
Yes.
You have donors who you'll give regularly, and then they just, their attention wanes, and they feel that they put their money somewhere else or things like that, and it's the consistency of the funds, right? That's always a challenge. So, how did that relate to finding a new solution of getting them funding?
Yeah. So part of the solution is to really engage the donors for you to battle the donor fatigue. So it's the same way as the other internet systems would say user experience. So the donor experience allows you, the fundraiser, to really engage the donors. The site is not just for online giving facility, but it provides a donor management solution wherein they are able to engage the donors in a more consistent manner.
Okay. So when one goes to the site, how does it work? I mean, I'm a donor. Let's say I'm in a very giving mood. I got my Christmas bonus and more than enough for the family, I guess, and they want to give back. So they go to the site. What will they see, and how do they navigate their way through to find what they might be interested in?
So if they feel like giving, all they need to do is go to GavaGives.com and they can navigate through categories. So there would be projects, events, there would be about children, about charity, about scholarship. So it depends on their what's dear to them.
What do you say is the magic of crowdfunding? I mean, I'm comparing this to the old-style donation wherein you see, people in churches or even in the malls with the organization saying, please help us. But when it's on a website, whether this is for business like Kickstarter or whatnot, you see a goal.
Yes.
So is there some, psychological magic with that their target is $10,000 and they're not yet there, so I'm going to help. Rather than it's a blanket, we're always open for donations. Maybe that sense of urgency is not there.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's one of the factors. And I think based on previous traditional online giving wherein you just click the means to donate and then after that, that's it. You either get an acknowledgement receipt or not. But here in crowdfunding, it becomes more transparent. The fundraisers are more accountable and more transparent. So when you donate, you actually see where your money is going to. Okay.
Now, that's the key now for your organization. You are going to be representing these organizations as a bridge to the public. So how do you vet these organizations and say, okay, we know that your project is legit, your organization is legit, and we will extend your information out to the public. So what is that process like for you?
So it's a basic KYC, know your customer method, wherein we ask for their registration, their pertinent documents for those organizations, especially for the charitable foundations. But any type of organization, whether you're on a university club, you can also use the fundraising platform.
So whether big or small, they can get the help of Gava. So so you have two customers, basically the organizations and the public who wants to donate.
Individuals.
For an organization, how do they do it? They just go online and then they just submit the application?
Yeah. So we have business development who go to different charitable foundations, but at the same time, the platform is open. Recently, for the past 4 months, we have more than 100 organizations who've joined the platform without us even knowing.
Okay. Can you give some examples? You've been around for almost 2 years now. Give us some examples of some successful campaigns that have worked out that have probably would not have gotten the funding they wanted if not for Gava.
There are several. Top of mind would be House of Hope from Davao, from Mindanao. There'd be Kite Foundation and other children charitable foundation. Kasuso Foundation would be one as well.
And you mentioned that Davao, so that's one thing I can imagine is a big boost for them. They may be down south.
Yeah.
Physically, they're limited to the people in the south, but if they want to reach out to Metro Manila, where economy is centralized and the bulk of the money is here, where they can get generous donors, I guess this is something new for them, and it's a big opportunity.
Yeah, definitely, and. To date, there were several OFWs, a lot of them, probably 40% would be OFWs who really contributed back to the community of Davao.
Wonderful. What's the feedback you're getting now for the donors from, as you mentioned, it's not just, us here in the Philippines, OFWs all over the world, thanks to this, it's so easy for them to help out. What's the feedback you're hearing from them?
So we have a 24/7 chat window on our website wherein we gather feedback, questions, and all that. And amazingly, we get very, very positive feedback from a lot of people, not just from OFWs. They are very thankful that this kind of platform is now existing in the Philippines. So it translates really the bayanihan culture digitally.
Digital bayanihan.
Yeah.
Now, the challenge, I guess, is when you grow in scale, when these projects expand, there's so many on your site. How will you now be presenting this on the website to a user? Will you be using their interests? Maybe they're interested in helping education or poverty or whatnot. How will you filter it so that it's easier for them to connect to the projects they like?
Yeah, so we are trying to build data or machine learning capability of the site, wherein even if you are a registered user and you signed up through Facebook, we can actually determine your not just the behavior of your giving, but actually the choices of charities that you made in the past.
I can imagine also that beyond giving money, does this sometimes translate to actually physically connecting and then helping? I mean, this is what you used to do yourself. You used to consult for these organizations. Have you heard of stories like that they wanted to give and they learn of a new organization they like and they actually donate their time as well and actually volunteer?
We would say that these things are happening, especially when we get questions like how to volunteer in those organizations. And they are free to do so because the organization's contact information are there on the website.
So right now, currently, what would you say is the majority of the demographic that you have people donating? Are you seeing more of the younger people who, we might be surprised that the youth is now more engaged and involved in actually helping out organizations out there?
Yeah, definitely, because especially exposing this to the campuses wherein clubs, organizations are able to do fundraising, then plus the convenient way of doing so, of course, not all students would have credit card, PayPal, or such payment options, but we extend these payment options to the unbanked. So even those who would have a next street convenience store, they'll be able to donate.
Wonderful. So even if they go to Mini Stop or 7-Eleven, they can just donate over there. Wonderful method. Well, obviously it's no excuses. The opportunities
No
right
excuses.
there.
No excuses.
Absolutely. So if you do have the heart, do check them out. The website is gavagives.com.
GavaGives.com.
All right. And you can find them as well on Facebook. Well, Ann, thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you.
And we wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much.